Is there anything to cold plunges?
We could talk about this for 2 hours, Eric. I'm not sure we could do that. I think you have to be really careful when you talk about what we understand about these physiological responses because it's complicated. So maybe we could back up for 1 second to the vagus nerve. Many of your listeners are physicians and many of your listeners are scientists and well versed in all this. But for those that are not, we say vagus nerve, but you have two of them. You have one on each side of your neck. And we say two vagus nerves, but inside of each of them, you have 100,000 fibers. So you have 200,000 vagus nerves, technically. And each and every one of those individual fibers was selected for and subjected to evolutionary pressure for millions and millions of years to have a specific origin, a specific destination from the brain to the body or the body to the brain, and to do a specific function. And the idea when we stimulate in the lab and with our limited clinical evidence, the evidence suggests that when the idea is to control inflammation, we're stimulating a few hundred fibers, and that's sufficient to control inflammation. Those are not the same fibers that control your response to the cold. Those are not the same fibers that control the response to your heart. Those are not the same fibers that control your response to breathing. So the question is, when someone tells me I want to do this, that, or the other thing to stimulate my vagus nerve, I say, oh, really? Which one are you going to stimulate? And how are you going to do that? That's where it gets complicated. It's incredibly complicated. So cold plunge. Everyone remembers their first cold plunge, right? Because it's awful. I mean, it might happen by accident. My brother tricked me on a warm spring day. My brother tricked me into running into the freezing cold ocean. He was standing at his ankles and he told me to do a running dive. And when you go into that 50-degree water, you come up and you can't breathe. All the air goes out of your lungs and you can't inhale. And that is a massive fight or flight response. That is a massive fight or flight response. You have a surge of epinephrine and norepinephrine. Your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up. And that's the opposite, allegedly, of a parasympathetic fight or rest and digest response. But what happens if you stay in the cold water and you cold adapt? And here, Eric, it's very hard to find well-controlled